Welcome to Amy's Creative Corner and Happy New Year! I'm very excited to let you know that Close to My Heart has loaded the Wings paper packet in Studio J. The Wings packet is our special during the month of January, so I'm very excited that it is also up in Studio J so we can play around with it while we wait for our paper version to show up. So today I wanted to share with you how I like to do a lot of my journaling. Instead of using the journaling boxes provided in the layout, for instance, this box right here was a journaling box, and I simply converted it to a photo well so that I could get more photos on my page. And I knew that I was going to create journaling strips, so I didn't need that photo box. But I also, like in my classic scrapbook pages, I adhere my journaling strips in a variety of ways, using thread and metal and all sorts of different adhesives or items to attach it to the page. So I want to share with you how I do that in Studio J. This was last night, New Year's Eve, and we are focusing on the One Little Word project that Allie Edwards has going on over at her blog. And so we're picking our guiding words for the year. And I'm not very good at following the rules, I guess, because I can't just stick with one. I have two, but they're very related. So it's balance and write. So I want to find balance in my life so I have more time to write. There you go. There's the connection. So what I'm doing is I'm dragging my journaling box onto my layout. And as you can see, my background paper is Vineyard Berry. And I am going to edit my text. I'm going to highlight my text because my text needs to be Colonial White. And then I'm also using the typewriter font at a 15-point font. And then I can start typing. Edit text. And for some reason, this does not like me today. And write. Okay. So once I've got my text written in there, then I need to resize my box. But again, or my journaling strip, I should say. Again, what happens is if I get too close to the edge, I get a caution mark, so it looks like that's it. I want to center my text and align it to the middle. Okay, and I think that's good enough. So now what I'm going to do is simply rotate my text box a little bit and put it up on top of my other text box. Okay, so I think, yep, that's good enough. I'm also going to come up to Distressing, and again, selecting Colonial White, I'm going to drop my sanding right on top of this new journaling strip, and I'm going to leave it at 50%. That's the default. Now, here is the fun part. Let me click off of that. So the fun part is, how are we going to attach this to the page? Well, come on up to Embellishments and select Buttons. Now in the buttons, you've got all these different button sizes, and you've got the thread to attach the button. Well, I'm going to select Colonial White, and I'm simply going to choose the thread. So I have the 1/2-inch button thread, and I stick that on the edge of my journaling strip, rotate it ever so slightly. use my arrow keys to get it into place. And then I can copy that and paste it and get another one. Now notice this. I'm going to hold down my shift key. I've got one selected. Oops, I'm going to get these a little bit further apart. Okay, I've got one selected. I hold down shift and I select the other one. And now it allows me to align horizontally or vertically. So I'm going to align these vertically and then give it a little bit of a rotate. And again, arrow over and down, and then let me select off and see how that looks. And I think I'm going to arrow over to the left just a little bit. Okay. Now I'm going to scroll out, and that looks pretty good. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how over here my husband needs his word. So what I can do is I can select a journaling strip I already created, copy it, paste it, and then drag that to another page, or to the other side of the layout, I should say. And then when I come up to edit text, I can simply type his word. Okay, so that was very easy. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in, make sure I spelled everything correctly. Okay, now again, I need to adhere this to the page. So this time, instead of using thread, because my husband is a manly man, I'm going to use metal. And I'm going to choose black and use a staple. So I just drag a staple onto the layout, and I oops, I'm actually going to delete that because, or wait, I'll just hit undo. There we go. I had resized it and I didn't want to do that. Although you can resize it, because then it would make it like Tim Holtz tiny fastener, which I have one of those too, which is very fun. Okay, so now I've kind of got it at an angle. In fact, let me maybe move this at an angle more. And then I'm going to move my staple over a tad bit. Now I'm going to copy this staple and paste, and then move it up here to the other corner. Okay, I think that's fine. And I'll just kind of scroll up here. And my friend Jan, what I've done is, let's go back to buttons. And I use the 5/8 button. Let me click on 5/8. I'm going to just drag it right up here. And what I'm going to do is just put it right up to the edge, but I need to rotate it a bit. So then again, I'm going to use my arrow keys. So this makes it look like it's a solid stitch from a sewing machine. So again, I'm going to select it, copy it, paste it, and then put it right into place. And again, use my arrow keys to nudge it exactly where I want it. And then I can scroll out, and you can see that it looks like it's been sewn on with a sewing machine. This is another example of how I've used different types of embellishments to decorate and adhere my journaling strips to the page. I've used both metal and ribbons and thread and staples again to adhere each of these strips in a different manner. So hopefully this gives you some more ideas that you can play around with.